It's 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 28 deadline stream. Just over 2 hours until the deadline. Plenty to get through, I'm sure. We're at that kind of critical stage of the season where the blanks are starting next week. The doubles are coming again. There's chips to be used. There's FA Cup quarter-final results to wait for. There's lots going on. And so, of course, I've got Fekonja on the bench suspended. I'm probably just going to roll. Will Utara start? I don't know. I'm going to risk it. I think I'm just going to push the transfers until next week, and I'm going to leave my options open for how I might get Haaland. I might sell Salah. I don't know. Am I likely to sell Salah? Probably not. But I want to leave those options open. Any runs or walk this morning? Yeah, I've done 5k walk this morning. I basically do 5k every day. If it's a gym day, I just walk it. If it's a running day, I run however much, like it was 3 kilometers yesterday, and I just walk the rest, basically. Most days, anyway. Pretty much every day. If you have Hall and you were going to bench next week, should I buy Munoz? If you've got the spare transfer, that sounds pretty good, yeah. If you can get through 29 with Munoz on your bench, ready for Southampton in Game Week 30, then I kind of hate you a little bit. I mean that in a nice way, by the way. I wish I was in that position. Am I hungover? I don't think I've drank alcohol for like a month now, maybe. Or more, possibly. So, no. Do I look hungover? If so, thank you very much. Mikalenko or Robinson, I've got Pickford in goal. I think in isolation, Mikalenko is probably better. If you want to just hedge your bets, I think Robinson is fine. I actually looked at the defensive numbers yesterday. Right, here's an interesting one I've not seen anyone else mention, which I only found out last night. If you look at the non-penalty expected goals conceded this season, Fulham per 90 are now better than Nottingham Forest. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily think I definitely don't think that Fulham are getting a clean sheet this week, put it that way. But maybe they're a bit better defensively than we're giving them credit for. They've only got 4 clean sheets this season. Nottingham Forest have got about 50. But actually, the numbers are looking pretty good. So, anyway, if you want to play Robinson, I think that's fine. Like, for me, Anderson's just not as attacking as Robinson, and so I'm just going to play the fixture and play Mikalenko. I'm benching Isak. He will be benched. Fair enough. Do you think keeping Luis Diaz is a good idea for this game week, or should I get, like, Eze in and I can replace Konate with Robinson? Luis Diaz is a tricky one. I think there will be some rotation today. I'm not sure it's going to be, like... I don't think Slot's going to rotate the whole team. I think because Gakpo is a doubt, Diaz has got quite a good chance of starting. I think Darwin will come in and... I guess there's Jota as well. I think Darwin will come in and play the number 9. I think Salah will start. And I suspect that Diaz might play left wing if Gakpo is not fit enough to start. So I think if you've got him, you'd probably keep him. Saving the video for the big screen. Nice, yeah. I don't know how many more... yeah, we'll keep going on that the other channel and see what happens. Moreno or Calafiori to bring in? Who's starting at striker for Arsenal? I don't know where this Calafiori striker thing has come from. Like, did I miss it in the press conference yesterday? But I suspect the chances of Arteta playing a left back as number 9 seem pretty unlikely. I mean, he is playing a midfielder as a number 9. I suspect it will be Merino, but like, why do you want to bring either of them in? I guess would be my question. And who do I... Oh, maybe you don't want to bring them in. Oh, you are asking who to bring in. Anyway, I wouldn't buy either of them, but I suspect it'll be Moreno, number 9 again. Someone else mentioned Calafiori striker yesterday. Where's it come from? Is there like a rumour or something? Do I bench Kirkes or Robinson? Spurs away, Brighton away. I would play Kirkes, I think. But I'm not sure there's a huge amount in it. Chris Wood or Kluivert. To play this week, I'm going to say Kluivert. Wood or Marmoush this week for free, or just one of them and play... Wait, what? Wood or Marmoush, or just one of them and play Utara? So is it not Wood and Marmoush? Yeah, okay. Okay, I think this is going to be a theme of this stream. I'm going to say this a lot, right? 18 months, by the way. Sorry, Griffith. I completely missed that. Apologies. Basically, right, if you can make a move this week that upgrades your team for 28 and is good for 29 and does not stop doesn't stop you doing anything in 29 that you might want to do, I would do it. So if you're going to get Wood and Marmoush next week anyway, 100% guaranteed that's what you're going to do, then I would probably just get both and bench Utara. And then if you can use Utara next week, great. If not, you deal with it then. If buying Wood and Marmoush is going to potentially stop you getting a Haaland that you might want to do or whatever it might be, then I would just make one of them and play Utara and hope for the best. And I think that's going to be a theme. I'm not against making transfers this week, but they need to be either you're super, super stuck, like you haven't got like seven fit attackers to start, something like that, or you 100% know it doesn't matter what you do this week. You're going to be able to make the same move in 29. If that makes sense. I don't know if it makes that much sense. Nketiah or Beto, free hit 29. I mean, the question you have to ask yourself is which one of those two do you want to be stuck with from game week 30 onwards? Now, Nketiah, like, I can't get my words out this morning. Mateta is probably going to be back, or at least that's what Crystal Palace are saying for the FA Cup match. So therefore, he's probably going to be available for game week 30. Therefore, Nketiah probably comes out of the team. Beto will probably keep his place a little while longer because of the injuries that Everton have got, but the fixtures are rubbish after 29. So it depends how long-term you need to keep them. I guess long-term, I'd probably rather have Beto, but for this week only, I'd definitely rather have Nketiah. Yeah, if you're definitely buying Marmoush and Chris Wood next week, I'd probably just buy them this week. Like, I think a lot of Bournemouth fans think that Utara is getting benched. Like, there is doubt there. I'm not sitting here 100% confident that he's going to play. Absolutely not. But I think for most people, it's worth taking the risk. But in your position, if you can make an upgrade and bench him, and then just get another week's worth of information, then decide next week what to do with him, happy days. Is it okay to double up on Everton defence? I mean, it depends who your other defenders are. If you've got a better defender, you should probably play one of them. If not, then yeah, sure, it's fine. It's been a long time since we had last Saturday live stream. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of... and the next one's Saturday, but then it's a midweek again. It's Tuesday. And actually, next Saturday, because of the... Actually, I don't know if it is because of the Carabao Cup final, possibly, or is that on Sunday? I can't remember. Anyway, it's a 1:30 deadline next week. So it's a 1:30 on Saturday, and then it's Tuesday deadline. Then we're back to a bunch of Saturdays then. I messed up. I banked 2 transfers to get rid of Lewis Hall and Rodgers and used one of them on Robinson, who had a game. And oh, wow. Ouch. Will Smith-Rowe start? I think there's a pretty good chance he will start, but I don't know how much to guarantee that. Fulham fans, any ideas? Best Gordon replacement not being in Burmo. I'd probably buy a Bournemouth midfielder still. Unless there's someone I'm missing, like Kluivert or Semenyo, probably. I mean, it depends what your chip strategy is, but you got Brentford at home and Ipswich at home straight after this. I think it looks pretty good. I really wish I'd had the money to just buy Semenyo when I got Utara. Or I kind of wish I just hadn't bought him. Although, I might not be saying that after this week. Just to get Kluivert then. Who are people selling Lewis Hall for? Possibly Munoz, maybe another Newcastle defender, possibly Vardiol, possibly Ait Nouri. Depends. I've still got Gakpo, so do you think I sell him? I don't think he's going to start. I guess there is a chance. But I don't think he's going to start. I'd be tempted to sell Gakpo. Because it's Southampton, you could just keep him and hope for the best. But Slot did say he was a doubt. Is Bruno in my plans post game week 29? Probably not. I think for Bruno to be in the plans, Bournemouth need to beat Man City in the FA Cup quarter-final. And even in that case, I suspect there's a good chance I'll free hit 33, so I would just get Bruno on free hit. How come nobody talks about Cucurella? Ha. Probably bags a hat-trick against Leicester. Ha. I suspect he probably won't bag a hat-trick against Leicester. The time to buy Cucurella was last week, probably. I think he's fine to bring in if you've got lots of free transfers, but he's got Arsenal next week. Haha. Is it smart to sell Hall if you have a lot of team value in him? He's not going to play again this season, so what does the team value matter? I mean, you don't have to sell him, right? If you can bench him and you don't need him, you can roll a transfer, then great. But he's not playing again. He's not playing again this season, so I don't really see why. Let's just sell him. If anything, it's better to sell him because he's gonna keep going down in price, and you're gonna lose that team value, right? I'm not saying you have to sell him, but don't worry about it. Cameron, new member, thank you. Hi, triple captain Salah or save remaining chips, wildcard, bench boost, free hit. I would save the triple captain if you. The only people I think that should really consider triple captaining possibly in a single game week like this are those that have got every chip left. So wildcard, free hit, bench boost, assistant manager, and triple captain, because you might just run out of weeks to do it. But even in that situation, there's probably going to be another single game week later on if you get really stuck. So any Bournemouth midfielder. You could go for any Bournemouth midfielder, yeah. Have you ever known an FA Cup round cause so much chaos in all of your years playing FPL? I'm an old man now, so I'm very forgetful, but I guess in recent memory, there's not anything that springs to mind. Not just the injuries and suspensions, but also the draw as well hasn't really helped at all. It's really difficult to plan based on that draw. So it is a bit of carnage. There was an FA Cup. I remember once, we just needed, I think it was one of Spurs or Southampton to go through, and Spurs would blank in 29. They both lost, something like that. But I mean, that wasn't really chaos, to be honest. That just meant that everyone kept Harry Kane. Cunha to Vissa, Marmouche. Cunha to Vissa or Marmouche, I guess that is, or Palmer to a 5.5 and Haaland game week 29. I think. I don't mind selling Palmer. I don't mind people selling Palmer in 29. I completely understand why they're looking at doing it. The only thing I would say is, I think you've got to be in a pretty luxury position where you can afford to sell a player that's got a fixture in 29. That's all. Vissa or Marmouche? I actually think I would probably buy Vissa. I think he's pretty good this week in particular. But Marmouche has got Brighton at home, Leicester at home in 30-31, so I do quite like the punt. Bench Vissa or Semenyo, also starting Kluivert. I would probably play Vissa this week for the home fixture. It's quite close between the two. Whether you've got Kluivert doesn't matter to me. If Semenyo was better, I would just play him. CD new member, thank you. Can we do a vote for captain? Although I imagine it will be Salah. It will definitely be Salah, but we can put that up in a second. Yeah, remind me in a minute if I don't put it up again. Bench 2, Gabriel, Wanieri, Rodgers, Colwill, Van Dijk. Oof, bench 2. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm definitely playing Van Dijk. Bench 2. I think you've got to bench Gabriel and Colwill. How is your team so good? Oh. How is your team so good that you get to bench Colwill and Gabriel? If you wanted to play Colwill ahead of Rodgers or Wanieri, I don't mind it just because it's Leicester. I have Cunha, Mateta and Hall out. What would you do? I'd start selling some players. Depends on your chip strategy. But Cunha suspended. Cunha and Hall are probably your bigger priorities than Mateta. Right? Mateta's probably going to be back for 30. He's got a double in 32. So I guess the other two are more of a priority. Mikalenko or 8 Nori? 8 Nori, 100%. Can you please rate in order of bench preferences? Colwell, Mikalenko, Beto, Gabriel, Lewis. Rico Lewis. Oh, I don't know. Rico, I need to double check what's been going on with Rico Lewis. Has he even been starting? I don't even know if he has. I remember when we all had Rico Lewis, or a lot of us did, and it was just absolute misery. He didn't even start the last game. He's only started like 2 of the last 7. I think Rico Lewis has got to be right down. I'd definitely play Beto. I mean, how many do you need to bench? That's so much easier. I think if you've got to play Colwell ahead of Mikalenko. I'd play Beto ahead of all the defenders. You could play Gabriel ahead of Utara if you wanted to. Lewis would be right down. Is there a chance the Cunha ban gets lifted? No chance. If anything, he's going to get more games added, not less. 0 chat. It's a completely different situation to what happened last time. Like, he actually got a red card this time. There's no way they overturn it for what he did. Absolutely no way. And they've charged him, so they might add more games. I don't know when we'll find out about that. He's definitely suspended till game week 31. That is not getting reduced. AZ, already on game week 29, as in already thinking about it, can get Haaland for Isak and Larson for Cunha for free, or sell Palmer, Isak, Cunha for Bowen, Haaland and Wood for -4. Honestly, I think I just prefer the not taking the hit and getting Strand Larson. Like, Strand Larson's got, I think it's Southampton away, West Ham at home, 29-30. I kind of like that as a punt, honestly. I do think there's worries over Wolves without Cunha, but he's probably going to play. So I quite like him. I don't hate the -4 for what it's worth, but I think I would just not take it. I really want to get rid of Utara, and I already have Clive, but who to get? Semenyo? I mean, what other midfielders are there to bring in this week? Like, apart from like an Mbermo, but I guess most people have already got him if they're going to have him. Like, I wouldn't buy a Man United midfielder. I wouldn't buy an Arsenal one either, I don't think. Like, Man United away, Chelsea at home's it's not awful, but it's not amazing. There's no Wolves midfielders I would want. I wouldn't be buying another Chelsea midfielder. I'm trying to think I wouldn't be buying an Everton midfielder. Like, who else is there? I think I would just go to a Bournemouth player. Like, what other better midfielders are there? Bowen's not bad. I think I'd rather go Bournemouth. Like, Bowen has new. Yeah, I would go. I would just go double Bournemouth. I think Spurs away, Brentford at home, Ipswich home is really good. 3 fixtures for an attacker. Hall to who? Money, no issue. Depends what your chip strategy is. If you are free hit 29, I'd buy Munoz. If you're not, I would probably buy Vardio. I think. 20 minutes of Salah, probably still worth a captaincy. If you told me right now Salah's only playing 20 minutes, I will automatically switch to Palmer captain and I wouldn't give it a split second's thought. Salah's not that good. I mean, he could absolutely beat Palmer with just 20 minutes, but there's no way I would captain him if you told me he's definitely playing 20. There was a time when, I think it was against Crystal Palace. I can't remember if I captained Salah or not, but he got benched, and I don't know if we knew about it, that he came off the bench and got like 3 returns or something. Absolutely insane. He could definitely do that against Southampton, but I would absolutely captain Palmer. Wait till Saka comes back at the end of the month and watch us rip our teams up to get him in. I don't think Saka's going to be much of a problem, really. I was randomly thinking about this on the walk this morning. Like, if we look at Arsenal's fixtures, I mean, the Arsenal fixtures coming up are not that bad. Like 30, Fulham at home, Everton away, Brentford at home in 32. Like, Ipswich away in 33, maybe. The thing is, there's going to be doubles that week. Like, there's doubles in 33, there's doubles in 32. Saka's going to be the least of your worries, I think. The fixture run that Arsenal have towards the end of the season, apart from having to play Liverpool away, is pretty good. I'm not really that concerned about when Saka's back, to be honest. We all changed off Salah that week as we knew he was benched. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we got the word that Salah was benched. We all not captained it, and then he came off the bench. Was it 2 or 3 returns? I feel like it was 2 goals, 1 assist, like a 16-pointer. If you had more transfers, who would you buy? I guess I would probably do Cunha to Vissa. and bench Utara. Something like that. If I had 5 transfers, I'd probably be buying Munoz somehow, some way. Maybe Cunha to Visser and someone up to Munoz, possibly. I haven't really thought about it. I don't really think about what if I've got more transfers, I guess. I don't think Salah will play less than 45. I think he will start. Like, and for that reason, I've probably got to captain him. There is part of me that wants to switch to Palmer, but I just don't think I can. I don't know. Maybe. There's part of me that thinks I'm 177k. Like, how much worse can it get? I mean, it can get a lot worse, I guess, with Salah, but still. Bench 2, Carwell, 8, Nuri, Gabriel, Munoz, Kirkers. Come on, you're not benching Munoz. Okay, to be fair, you did say who you're thinking of benching, so I back that. Yeah, I think benching Kirkers and 8 Nuri is probably fine. 8 Nuri versus Gabriel is tricky because obviously 8 Nuri's at home. On paper, the fixture is better, but the Arsenal defence is so much better than Wolves. So I think that's fair, yeah. I'm gonna let you off putting Munoz in there because you gave me who you think you were going to bench. Bench 1, Strand Larsen, Bruno, Semenyo, Wood. Can I say Bruno? Bruno versus Strand Larsen. Strand Larsen, Everton at home. I think I would play Bruno ahead of Strand Larsen, but I don't know how much of that is the fact I just love Bruno. Thinking in the future, if there is a chance that you can get through blank 29 and 34, putting out 10 players, would you go aggressive and play your free hit in double game week 36? The problem with that is, what if there's no doubles in 36? Like, basically, you're losing 2 players in 29 and 34 for the potential for a free hit in 36 where there might not be any doubles. It's risky. There might end up being like a really good double in 36, depending on what happens, but there also might just be no teams that double that week. So it feels a bit pointless. Like, you should just probably take the points now. Or from now until 34. Cliver or João Pedro? Cliver. Would you play Mikolenko? 18 months later. Would you play Mikolenko over any one of Colwell, Gabriel? No. Captain Wanyeri, no chance. Even if it is Man United. No, I wouldn't play Mikolenko over any of those players. Play Rodgers or do Cunha to Visser? I think Visser is better than Rodgers this week, absolutely. But I'd be tempted just to roll. Play Rodgers. Play Utara or João Pedro? Oh, I don't know who's more likely to start. I'm a bit conflicted. All week I've been saying João Pedro. I'm going to stick with it. I think João Pedro could start. I'm maybe a little bit more confident in João Pedro start than Utara, but I don't really know why. So I'm going to say João Pedro. FPL Victoria's Secret, 23 months. Thank you. Nearly 2 years. Mikolenko, Aina or Castagna, start 1. Mikolenko. Wood or Rodgers? Wood. Lewis Hall to Munoz, but not using free hit 29. Have 10 for 29. Yeah, look. There's, of course, a scenario where you bring in Munoz, he smashes 10 plus points, and that makes up for not having a player in 29. But I just don't think I could do it. I would have to bring in a player with a fixture in 29. So I would go 8 Nuri if you're going cheap, or if you've got the money, I'd probably go Vardio or like a Gabriel. Rodgers to Eze, I'm on free hit 29 and need to play 1 for Mateta. Yes, Eze's a good pickup, as is Sarr. Play 2 of Kirkes, Gabriel and Kudus. Kudus and Gabriel. Start Beto or Utara. Beto. I think basically with Utara, if you're in a position where you can play someone you know is going to start, I would just probably play them in most cases. Play Utara or Larsen. From what I've just said, I guess Strand Larsen. Alex, 26 months, thank you. Start João Pedro or Fernandes. Oh, again, tricky because Bruno's definitely going to start, but it's such a tough fixture. I mean, like, I wouldn't be completely shocked if Man United find a way to win this game and then go back to being terrible afterwards, because how many times have we seen that over the last few years? I'm going to say play Fernandes over João Pedro and just take the guaranteed minutes. Premier League or Sidemen charity match? Well, I can tell you now, the Liverpool game is on at 3 o'clock in Ireland, so I'm going to be watching that. I probably won't watch that if Salah and Trent don't start. But we'll see. What are the chances of James playing this week? Did James start midweek? I think he did, right? But he started a lot recently. apart from against Southampton. I don't know. I think he's... Hang on, I need to look up if he started midweek. I think he started midweek, in which case I wouldn't risk it. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, someone. Have Clive at start 1. Semenyo, I think. CG, who's that? 1 free transfer, CG to Beto. I don't know who CG is. It's obviously a forward. Who's CG? Who's CG? Oh, Cody Gakpo. Yeah, thank you. Wait, why can't you just start Semenyo, right? And just not sell Gakpo, unless I'm missing something. Is it that bad if you're missing one player from your 11 in 29? It's not that bad, but I think in most cases a -4 is probably worth it for a lot of teams. I have nothing to add, Wesley. Thank you. Have a great weekend. You too. Thank you. My FPL team is pants. Thanks for your content. I don't feel that my team's that great either. I know someone replied to me last night when I put my team out saying it's kind of... it feels a bit like damage limitation for my team this week. And the reply was kind of, your team looks like everyone else's, so what's the problem? But I'm not sure it does, right? Like where I've got Utara, lots of people have got like Clive or Semenyo. Where I've got Wanyeri, they've got the other one. Not everybody has like a Cunha problem that if one of your attackers misses out, you're down to Anderson against Brighton away, which is not great. I've got Mikalenko where a lot of people have got Munoz. So that's kind of where I was coming from the damage limitation angle. I don't think my team's that bad. But I think there's a lot of teams that are better out there. There's probably some that are worse as well. So I shouldn't. I'm not really complaining, to be honest. I just think I've got worries about how my game week 28 and 29 are going to go. Even my game week 30 might not be that great. But put it this way, I'm looking forward to wildcarding. Can't wait. Utara or Kirke start 1. I would take the risk on Utara in that case. I think. You have Utara issues, but people have Ahmad. Yeah, but I mean, he's been injured like a couple of weeks now, right? That's just an easy sell. There will be people in worse situations than me that have got like Cunha, Amateta, and Hall, etc. Like I'm not saying my team is a disaster. There is part of me that thinks it could go really wrong. It could also be fine, right? Wanyeri could go and get a return against Man United. Utara could start. All my other attackers start. I don't need Cunha off the bench. Like it could absolutely be fine. I'm not looking at it thinking, Christ, this is an absolute disaster. Like it could be pretty good. Rolling this week, almost did Greaves to 8 Nori, but could use my transfer better in 29. Also, every Wolves win has been a clean sheet bar 1. Do you mean hasn't been a clean sheet? And Greaves to 8 Nori seems like a pretty good move for me, but if you can use your transfers better, that sounds pretty good. I've still got my assistant managership. Which assistant manager should I bring in? Well, it depends. Is it already active? Like, if you're active this week, that's different. Let me just make that a bit bigger. I wouldn't play assistant manager this week, if that's what you're asking. If you've already got it active, who would you put it on? Oh, God, I've not thought about this at all. Crystal Palace, Glasner against Ipswich, Slot versus Southampton. Which a table bonus game? Brentford against Villa is a table bonus game, right? Oh no, it's not. Wow, they're only Villa are in 10th. I completely missed that. I thought they were higher up. Yeah, I guess I don't know if there's many table bonus games. Man United versus Arsenal. Go for I don't know. I would probably use it on like one of the teams with an easy fixture. Glasner, Slot, Maresca, something like that. But if you haven't activated it, I would not activate this week. João Pedro, Watkins, and Isak up front, or sub 1 for Utara. No, I'd play those 3, I think. Did Cunha to Visser, and my assistant manager is still active. Thoughts to do Pereira to Potter. Okay, I haven't thought about Potter. Yeah, that's a table bonus game, isn't it? Don't mind that, yeah. Who are the... I need to look up who the table bonus games are. I'm not completely sure. West Ham is a... Is that the only one, though? West Ham versus Newcastle, and Man United versus Arsenal, I guess. You know who's going to save the day? You know who's going to save the day here? Rob T, FPL, because I bet he's put a graphic up, which will just save me having to think. don't like thinking all that much. It gets a bit annoying. Oh, Spurs is a table bonus game against Bournemouth. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. I mean, he's also got him at the top, which helps. Yeah, so the tables bonus games are Spurs, Amorim, and Potter, I think. I mean, Spurs aren't great, but they're at home. Yeah, Bournemouth probably do win. I'm sure if James from Planet FPL was here, he'd be saying, do not put it on Postecoglou. I'm sure he would be saying that. I'd be tempted. I like out of the table bonus, I wouldn't go Amorim. There's just too much misery there. Yeah, Postecoglou or Potter. I mean, like, Liverpool could absolutely smash Southampton. Same for Chelsea against Leicester. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you're activating or you've got it active. Postecoglou I'll be tempted by. Otherwise, just if you've got the money, go slot. Okay. Let me see. Where did I... Okay, so, yeah. And my assistant manager is still active. Thoughts to do Pereira to Potter. Yeah, we just talked about assistant manager, but then I only have one transfer 29, which means a -8. So Wolves have got Everton at home. What are Wolves projected to get? Let me have a look at this. I bet Pereira's quite low. Yeah, because they're not that good. Can Wolves beat Everton? I think Wolves can beat Everton. No Cunha though. I think there's good. I think there's good. Sorry, not just table bonus. I think there's good managers on offer. I'd be tempted to switch and take the -8. I think the assistant manager is powerful. You should probably try and get points from it. I don't think Pereira is that good. Like he could obviously just beat Everton, and it could be like 10 points, something like that. I'd be tempted to switch. In a draft, what's your outlook for Foden over the next 5 weeks? Could drop him for Gibbs White. The problem with Foden is he's not always starting, right? So if I look at his minutes recently, it is... No, he has started most games, but he was benched against Spurs. I don't know if that's a sign of things to come, really. I'd be tempted to keep Foden because there's upside there, rather than get Gibbs White. But I'm not like a draft master, I'll put it that way. Every Wolves win has been a clean sheet by one. Okay, nice. That makes me wonder why you're not going for 8 Nuri then. But fair enough. Nice stat. But they probably don't have many wins, right? My min-league rival has Cunha, Mateta, Mitoma, Hall, and Utara. Ouch. I mean, Mitoma's fine. Utara might be fine. Any planned transfers? No, not as it stands. Captain in Haaland, currently 900k, aiming for top 250k, worth the risk. No, don't think so. Like, obviously, if it works out, great. But the chances are it's not going to work out when Salah and Palmer have got Southampton at home and Leicester at home. Should I put Sells in goal over Pickford? Man City at home, Wolves away. I'd be tempted to go Pickford. I think it's quite close, though. Yeah, definitely don't go Amorim. I hope Amorim ends up getting a massive table bonus result, like 20 points, but I cannot imagine it's going to happen. I'm not quite sure how Man United are going to score against Arsenal. I don't know if they've figured that out yet. I do know that Garnacho has to start, though. I think Garnacho's like from Man United like fan base. I feel like Garnacho's starting to become a little bit underrated. Aloha, Loz, how's it going? Congrats on the couch to 5k progress. Thank you very much. Still going through. I will say my knee was a little bit less happy with me this morning than it was yesterday, but it also wasn't that bad. I went out for a walk and all good. So got to build up one way or another, right? Cunha joining Luca Dean on the FPL troll wall at this rate. I mean, lots of people got a lot of points from Cunha earlier on in the season, didn't they? But for people like me that went elsewhere, got smashed, then bought him in and got suspended, then yeah, very annoying. Bench Visser or Utara. I'd play Visser, definitely. Yeah, 100%. No doubts there. The side panel is stuck on transfers out. Oh, nice spot. Let me fix that. So if I just do... Okay, it should scroll now. I don't agree that Garnacho is rubbish. I think people are talking nonsense, to be honest. I actually saw a really good tweet yesterday. Let me see. From old Statman Dave about Garnacho. Garnacho has been directly involved in 15 goals in 2,400 minutes across all competitions. That's an average of 0.56 goals assists per 90. I don't think that's that bad. He's still young. Like, I think there's just so much expectation on him because Man United just don't have any other attackers. Man United are much more of a threat when they've got Garnacho on the pitch than when they don't. Like, is he perfect? No, but like he's still young, right? Is he like 20? How old is he? Yeah, he's 20. He'll be 21 in the summer. I like Garnacho. Yeah, he's wasteful. Yeah, like, I'm not. No one is sitting here saying. No one is sitting here saying he's the perfect young player that is amazing. But I think he's better than people are now giving him. I think maybe he was overrated at one point, but now I think he's actually underrated. Anyway, you just drank some water, aren't you? Fasting? No, not from water. Anyway, got a nice Coke Zero in the fridge, ready for after breakfast. Oh yeah, Captain Poll. I told you I'd forget. Your game week 28 captain is Palmer, Salah. I'm just going to put someone else. Like, I don't think there's a third option that's going to be that popular, so they can just all go into one. Surely Isak starts. You can't not start your best player in a must-win Europe deciding game. I think he probably will start, but I wouldn't be completely surprised if he's benched. I think that cup is pretty big for Newcastle. I will say I don't think Garnacho's body language was great when he got subbed off, but then I don't know, like a big time player gets subbed off and acts like obviously he's not as good, but like it's like, oh, that's because he just wants to win, he just wants to do well. So I don't know, cut him some slack. He's young. Also, he's playing for Man United. Like, how good can he really be right now? Okay. Who to triple captain? Salah now or Isak in the double? I would save it unless you've got all your chips left. Play James or bench for Aina or Aitnuri. I'd play Aitnuri. Just get the guaranteed minutes, I think. Griffith, 2 free transfers. Munoz to Alex Moreno now. I'm guessing that's the other way around, right? Then -4 next game week. Haaland, Semenyo and a 5.4 million midfielder. Who would that 5.4 million midfielder be, though? I don't think there's two. Wanieri, maybe? For Salah, Chowdhury, Mateta. Or Chowdhury, Semenyo and Roll. Or play Robinson for 3. No, I think you can make a transfer. I guess without knowing all your future plan stuff, probably Chowdhury to Semenyo rather than Moreno to Munoz. Just because Semenyo is also going to play next week. But Munoz is pretty great this week. 2 out of Utara, Semenyo, Robinson and Aina, the 2 attackers. I bought in Haaland, Minter and Aitnuri for Cunha, Hall and Palmer. You sold Palmer before Leicester at home. Okay. Should I use my triple captain on Salah this week? I've all chips except System Manager. I'd probably save it. Maybe something you're answering lots, thinking about yourself. Is it worth doing Salah to Kluivert to get Haaland for Cunha next week or just get Chris Wood? I'm undecided. I think the FA Cup results make me less likely to want to sell Salah now because I think free hit 33 is going to become an option. But I'm not. I am open to selling Salah. It's my easiest way to get Haaland with the fewest hits. But I'm not going to be decided until the deadline, honestly, of 29. For Hall, Milenkovic or Wan-Bissaka, Vardy or too much money. I'd probably buy Aitnuri, but I guess of those two, I would go Wan-Bissaka, Newcastle at home. Then what is it? It's Everton away, right? And then it's Wolves away. I would buy Aitnuri, personally. If you've already got Aitnuri, I guess Wan-Bissaka is pretty close. Bringing Beto or Strand Larsen, wildcarding 31. I'd be tempted to take a punt on Strand Larsen, just because of the better fixture in 30. And also it's Southampton next week. Which 2 to play out of Colwill, Gabriel and Utara? Do you risk Utara in that case? Because if he plays, he's great. I think I'd be tempted to play Colwill and Gabriel and just hope Utara gets benched. Although I am hoping he plays. When should you use triple captain in what game week and who on? I don't know. Figure it out later. Honestly. Like, it depends when you're using the rest of your chips. So, game week 33, 32, there's going to be a double. 33, there's going to be a double. There might be doubles later on. If you're using your assistant manager 31 to 33, then you can't triple captain in any of those, so you'll have to use it in a future week. We'll have to wait and see what happens. If you've used your assistant manager, then you can triple captain in 33. If you're using a chip in 33, you can triple captain in 32 instead. So it really depends. All I will say is, I'll keep repeating this, if you're not using a chip this week or next week, relax and just figure it all out later on once we got the FA Cup results. Best Mateta replacement, thoughts on Beto? I think Beto's fine. I think I would take a punt on Strand Larsen, but Beto is absolutely fine to buy. Visser is also good. Depends how much money you got, right? But I like Beto. I'd probably buy Visser or Chris Wood if you can. But it depends if you need the money. That's why you're looking cheaper. Salah will never be benched. He wants to break all records. Salah will be benched at some point. I guarantee you Salah does not start every single game from now to the end of the season. Might not be this week, but at some point he probably will get benched. And the reason I think he'll be benched mostly is because I think Liverpool will now go through in the Champions League and they'll probably get through the quarterfinals as well. And I think they'll have the league wrapped up and then he'll get benched because then they've got a Champions League to win. Thoughts on Marmoush? I think he's a nice punt, yeah. I wouldn't be completely surprised if at some point he gets benched just because he's a Man City player, but the minutes look pretty good at the moment, so not too much to worry about. Free hit 28 as I'm playing the leader in the head-to-head. Would you play Asensio or Enzo? Evan Nielsen or Beto up front with Haaland? Watch with my daughter Freya. Hi, Freya. Okay, my gut instinct is I wouldn't have... The thing with Asensio is, I don't know if he's 100% nailed. Although he has... Hang on, let me just double check this. Did he not get benched the last game? Yeah, that would just put me off. I mean, Palmer, Salah, guaranteed, right? Palmer and Salah are guaranteed on a free hit. Who's your other midfielders then? I guess maybe one or two from... But yeah, Enzo, I suppose, out of those two. Evan Nielsen or Beto up front. I guess Evan Nielsen will probably start, but there is some risk there. I guess on a free hit, you'd have a bench. But if he doesn't start, he's coming on. I would probably risk Evan Nielsen on a free hit over Beto. Has Salah started every game so far this season? I think he has, yeah. I looked back. He always gets benched at some point. Whether or not that happens this year, I don't know. But the guy is a machine. I still think it's very unlikely he plays every game. If we think Salah gets benched, there isn't many more suitable fixtures than this one. Yeah, but lots gets taken into account, right? It might be that Slot only wants to rotate a certain amount of players, and Salah's never going to be one that really needs a massive rest. So I think that's why he will start. The reason I think he'll get benched in the future is because there'll be even more games played, and like I said, the League and Champions League thing mostly. Start Marmoush or Wanyeri. Marmoush, I think. Start Kirkez or Aït-Nouri. I don't think anyone's talking about Neto, because if you were going to buy Chelsea midfielders, it probably should have been last week, not before they've got Arsenal next week. How can my team look so good one week and so rubbish the next? Welcome to FPL. Semedo allows Haaland and Rice for Salah and Mateta. I wouldn't want to be buying Rice, I don't think. But you could just get a Bournemouth midfielder instead, right? I quite like that, if you're happy to sell Salah. -4 to get in a goalkeeper for a full 11 for 29. Yeah, I'd probably do that, I think. Yeah, I actually looked up previous seasons. Now, again, I didn't do loads of research into why he was benched specifically. Oh, I actually deleted it, didn't I? I put the tweet out, though. Yeah, so Ramadan 2024, he was benched against Man City, but I think he was only just back from injury. Ramadan 2023, he got benched against Chelsea. Ramadan 2022, he was benched against Benfica and Newcastle. And then Ramadan 2021, he was benched against Leeds. Different manager, though. You don't know. He could get benched today. I don't think it's that likely, though. But it could happen. I didn't go back more than 4 years. $4.2 million to spend on a defender. Robinson or Tosin? Who's Robinson that's $4.2 million? I need to look that up. I don't know. Shows how much I know. Yeah, I think that must be someone else, right? I mean, Tosin started 3 of 4. There's always a chance he gets benched at some point, and the fixtures are pretty bad from a defensive point of view after Leicester. I guess him. Who's Robinson, though? I don't know. Unless you mean selling Robinson. Castagna is surely not still 4.2, is he? Oh, he is. Wow. But the fixtures are rubbish for Fulham. Anderson's still 4.2 as well. Yeah, fixtures are terrible, honestly, for Fulham defensively. I mean, it's only 4.2, so you can set your expectations for points, I guess, but they're pretty bad. Okay, Anderson. I guess I would risk Tosin. Well, I don't know if I would, actually. At least Anderson's definitely going to play. I suspect that Tosin will start most games, but haven't they got like Badiashile back now as well? Fofana, isn't he like back to? I don't think Tosin. I think you have to go Anderson for guaranteed minutes, but they're probably both horrible. Put it this way, I might actually play Anderson next week. So I don't think he's completely terrible, but I'm not completely happy with him either. I'd much rather not be playing him. Tosin played 90 minutes in conference. Yeah, it's a worry. I wouldn't buy him. I would go Anderson. I'd go the safety of minutes. What do you think of Nketiah as a short-term pat? I think he's fine for 28, and that's about it. So, yeah, 1 week only. I think he's decent. Got Gakpo, Mateta, and Watkins. Who would you transfer out? Well, definitely not Watkins. Not free hit in 29. I'd probably get Visser. I would probably sell Gakpo before Mateta. They're both blanking in 29. Mateta's more useful to you afterwards. Like, Gakpo might start against Southampton, but I really don't see it. Ahmad and Cunha to Marmoush, Kluivert for a -4. Visser. I don't mind Marmoush, but I like the guaranteed minutes with Visser, to be honest, especially coming into a blank. But that -4 sounds fine if you're stuck for players. Bench 1, Elanga against Man City, Utara against... I'd bench Mikalenko out of those. I'd take the risk on Elanga and Utara. The captain poll is wider than I expected. I don't know if I'm that shocked, really. I mean, it's Salah, innit, against the worst team in the league. Like when you say that out loud, it's Mo Salah, like, who could break his record this week of 303 points, against the worst team in the league. Like, when you say it out loud, it's like, how can you even consider anyone else? Like, I think for me, you've either got to really want to go for a differential, which is fine. I think Palmer is good this week. Like, it's Leicester at home. He will start as well. Or you've got to be fairly confident that Salah's minutes are going to take a big hit. That's my problem. I don't know if I'm that confident. I think there's a chance. Salah has 11 goals, 8 assists in 23 games during the last 4 years of Ramadan. Yeah, Salah's pretty good at football. I don't think Salah cares about fantasy records. I don't think anyone said he did. Mitoma could be great. He could be great. You're correct. -4 Utara to Kluivert. I probably wouldn't, just in case Utara starts. Who would you buy instead of Lewis Hall for maximum of 6.4? Probably Vardio if you're not free hitting 29. Munoz if you are. Who else was I thinking about this morning that could be better than Vardio? No, I think it was just whether you buy Ignore or not, but that probably depends on how much money you want to spend. I'm sure there was another player. Rodgers or Utara or both, and sit out João Pedro. No, I'd play João Pedro and Rodgers probably. Do you know what? I'm annoyed about what's happened with João Pedro in my team the last few weeks and like how many points I've benched and then sold. But there's also a part of me that's quite happy I don't have to make the João Pedro or Utara decision because it could just so easily go the wrong way. Old saying though, if the game is won comfortably, it's probably because Salah's been involved. Yeah, absolutely. But still, if you told me that Salah's only going to play 50 minutes and Palmer's going to get 90, I'd probably take Salah on. Probably. No, almost definitely. If he's only going to play 50 minutes, he can't get the clean sheet point. He can't get the extra appearance point. I would definitely take that on. No free hit 29. One free transfer. Same team as yours except Vissa for Watkins. Would you do Cunha to Wood? Yeah, I'd probably roll. I mean, you've got the same team, apart from you've got a different forward, so my thoughts would be the same, I guess. Play 3, Chris Wood, Marmoush, Raul Jimenez, Trossard. The thing with Raul Jimenez, I don't even know if he's going to start. And so for that reason, like, I can't guarantee Marmoush is going to start, but at the moment I'm more confident, so I think I'd bench Raul Jimenez. Not sure if you mentioned it, but Utara is fasting, so that could play a part. I didn't mention it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Utara. I'm hoping he starts. I think him and Evan Nielsen could both start. That's what I'm hoping for. Because I think there's a good chance Evan Nielsen is just their number 9 again. Mateta out until the end of March. Yeah, when you say that like that, it sounds really bad. But Game Week 30 is in April. Ain't Nuri or Alanga, and we already know Mateta's not playing 29, so they got no fixture. Ain't Nuri or Alanga. I know it's Man City, but at least it's at home. I think he's continuing to start, right? So I'd probably just play Alanga. Philip, thank you. Bianconieri, thank you. If you go back to Game Week 1, would you still buy Bruno? I mean, not if I'm using a time machine, but I guess I would still buy him, yeah, if I was... Who knows, I might buy him next season, Game Week 1. I don't think Strand Larsen's a no-brainer. No, I wouldn't say that. I think he's a good punt. I think I would buy Strand Larsen ahead of Beto now, I think. Play 2 of Robinson, Kirkes, and Ain't Nuri. Ain't Nuri, definitely. Yeah, I think I said Kirkes earlier ahead of Robinson, but I'm really not sure about that, to be honest. I think it's quite tight between the two. You could almost flip a coin. I'll stick with Kirkes, but I'm really not sure. Maybe it should be Robinson. What attack is better, Brighton or Spurs? I would usually say Spurs, but right now it might be Brighton. Minetzi has been playing up front for Wolves, though. Okay. Won't be able to play by Bruno Fernandes when he's playing in the Championship. That's a really good one, yeah. Connor, thank you. My back 3, Trent, Vardy or Gabriel. Start Ain't Nuri for any of those. No, I don't think so. And start Chris Wood or Utara. Chris Wood. When to do a free hit. 29, 33 or 34 are probably the most likely times for most people. If you haven't already thought about free hit 29, I would just not worry about it for now. But I think Szoboszlai will start. I think there's a chance that Harvey Elliott will start. And Slot said that Harvey Elliott is competing with Szoboszlai and Salah, and I think Salah will start. So by that process of elimination, I think Szoboszlai might get a rest. But also, I could be wrong. Start 2, Gabriel, Ain't Nuri, Kluivert, João Pedro. Must be one defender. I'd start Kluivert over João Pedro and Gabriel over Ain't Nuri. Could you shout out... Calv, King, Malt, and Glenn. I just have. I had to say it slowly because I didn't know if you were trying to convince me to say a word I shouldn't be saying, but... I feel like I've missed something there, but anyway, there you go. Start Isak or João Pedro. Isak. Play Ain't Nuri or Gabriel or bench. Yeah, I'd be tempted to play Gabriel over Utara. Slightly tempted. Ain't Nuri, sorry. Just in case. Ain't Nuri could just get like a 1-pointer. Although Everton would have to score at least 2 goals. They've been doing all right under Moyes, though. Get Enzo in for free or roll and start Mikalenko. I'd probably just roll. Like, Enzo could do really well this week, but that's about it. Then he's not great afterwards, I don't think. Not exactly the same team. Have Hall for Anderson, so benches Cunha, Hall, Greaves. I still want to roll. Yeah, I'd probably just roll. It's a little bit riskier in your situation, but I think I would roll. Piyush, 15 months, thank you. 1 free transfer, no free hit in 29. Rodgers to Bowen, budget 8.5 million, or roll and start Rodgers. I'd be tempted to roll and just reassess next week what you want to do with 2 free transfers. I don't think it's a problem to buy Bowen this week. I really don't, but I think I'd roll. I've wildcarded today. Am I insane? I wouldn't say you're insane. It's an interesting time to decide you're going to wildcard. I've looked at Game Week 29 wildcard a little bit. I don't think it's terrible. And if it saves like a -4 or -8 and it sets you up well for 32, it could be viable, but I still don't like doing it without the knowledge of the quarterfinal results. And Nick's FPS picks. FPS, is it supposed to be FPS or is it FPL? First person shooter. Gifted 1 membership, thank you very much. Matthias. Isak and Cunha to Beto and Harden, no free hit 29. I wouldn't sell Isak to get Harden this week. I'd probably just put it off until next week. Play Vardio, Gabriel, or Aina. Gabriel or Vardio, I think. I'd probably go Gabriel. How confident am I about Mateta starting game week 30? My only slight concern would be they're saying he could be back for the Fulham game, but that's on the weekend just before. When is? Let me just look it up a sec. I can't remember. I think Crystal Palace are playing on the Saturday. They're 29th. That's the Saturday, right? Why does it not say that? I'm almost certain that's the Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, right? So they're playing Saturday, and then they play the second 4 day. Why is it not just telling me the days on Google? They play on Wednesday. So if he's not fit for Saturday, then put slight doubts on 30. But oh, nice, it is FPS. Nice. I like Call of Duty too. Oh, Rob TFPL must be watching because he's. I just noticed he's DM'd me on Discord. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, is this an updated one? So Ange Postecoglou's on the same projected points as Slot. This for assistant manager. I'd still be tempted to go for the table bonus, I think. How come nobody has mentioned Solanke as an option? Because he came on off the bench the other day in Europe and then went off with an injury. I think initially it looked quite bad. It doesn't seem like it is that bad, but there's obviously risk that he's going to start. Like that he could. There's a risk that he might not start. So the minutes just aren't there. And also Spurs just haven't been doing that well, so that will always put people off. I don't. It's a shame he picked up that injury, and there's doubts there because Spurs have got Fulham. I don't know. It's Fulham away, Chelsea. It's pretty bad actually. Southampton at home maybe in 31, but that's about it. Yeah, I wouldn't even be looking at Solanke right now. Am I drinking Sprite or water? Water. Never really drink Sprite. Coke Zero is my go-to fizzy drink, which I drink way too much of. What's your plan when Trent and Utara don't start? I don't know, just start thinking about game week 29, I guess. Start 1, Robinson, Kirkes, Aina. I'm going to say Robinson. Kirkes and Robinson, so I'm just going to go Robinson. Utara or Wanyeri? Wanyeri. Have both Mateta and Gordon on the bench, but start in 11 with players like Utara, Robinson, Kirk. Okay. I've won 3 chance. Should I roll or not? I'd be tempted to sell Gordon. He's suspended till 31. It depends again. Is how much is that going to affect your 29 transfers? Like, if you sell Gordon, bring in a midfielder and bench one of Kirkes or Robinson, that sounds like quite a good use of a free transfer. If you want to roll, I think it's fine. But I'd be tempted to sell Gordon. Doing Isak Gakpo to Haaland Beto next week, would you bring the Gakpo move to Beto forward? I think I would risk it and hope he gets something against Southampton, especially if you've got someone on the bench if he doesn't play at all. What would you recommend someone with a triple captain at this stage of the season? Wait until the FA Cup results and decide after game week 30 when you're going to use it. Start Gakpo or Utara. I don't think Gakpo starts. There's risk over Utara as well. I guess you've got to start the guy with Southampton at home. Utara could start though. I'm more confident of Utara start than a Gakpo one. It just feels, if you're going to keep Gakpo, it feels wrong to bench him. So I guess you start him, but I got a feeling that Utara is going to get better minutes. Bench Gakpo and play Wood or transfer out for this. I'll just play Wood, I think. Mateta replacement. Probably Chris Wood, if you can afford it. Ollie, new member, thank you. I don't know why this is. I don't know what playlist I put on. I don't know why this is playing. I put on Eminem playlist, but this is not what's playing right now. I think I've got this on another one. Yeah, now it's going back. Now it's going back to Eminem. How weird is that? Maybe I've accidentally put that in my Eminem playlist. I have, yeah. that song, that random song. I know you can't hear music. Eze versus Ipswich ? What's the question? The closer we get to deadline, the more I'm questioning my decision to captain Palmer over Salah. Yeah, that's always going to happen. Have I tried Audi's Coke Zero? It tastes like Coke Zero, but 49p. I haven't, no. I mean, I maybe have. I don't really remember, though. Favorite Eminem album? Oh, I don't know. Probably just like the Marshall Mathers LP, probably, because that's like would be one of the first ones I would have heard. Who would you sell, Gakpo or Raul Jimenez, and who to bring? Probably Raul Jimenez, I think, and take the risk on Gakpo. Who would I bring in? Probably like Chris Wood, I think. Confident Salah plays 80 plus. Top 5 car parks in Galway. I don't have a top 5, I only have a top 1, and that is Dyke Road car park. Actually, that's not true. I like Heinz car park as well. If I'm going into town properly, Heinz I prefer over like the Air Square one. Whew, no. And definitely not like not juries either. You don't smile often enough. Maybe I've just got nothing to smile about. Look at my team. Look at my rank. Sorry. Start Isak or Semenyo. Ooh, Isak, I think. Play Utara over Bowen, Isak, Viscera or Watkins. Not for me. Salah triple captain. Don't hate it. I love your smile. That's what was on, yeah. In fact, I'm going to remove it now. I've got that song in my... I think I've got that on a 90s playlist, but I also happen to have it in my Eminem playlist, so I've got rid of it now. Your best differential pick for a 1 week pump? Probably Nketiah. Oh my god, getting some news. By the way, I'm not like... I'm one of those people that's terrible with like I don't like critically analyze stuff. Like when you say I just like it or I don't. So Tupac or Notorious B.I.G. I've probably listened to Tupac more. I once bought a Tupac CD with ring pulls from Coke cans. Anyone old enough to remember that? I I think they did a thing where if you collected enough Coke can ring pulls, you could trade them in for CDs. And I got 2. One was 2-pack, and one was, I'm pretty sure it was LL Cool J, the GOAT, the blue CD. You used to just go and collect ring pulls off of cans over the school field. Not sure they do that anymore. Anyway, I was still at school, so I don't even want to say when that was. It was a long time ago. I'm an old man, I told you that. Thoughts on unlimited budget free hit chip for one game week? Something last 3 positions left, Andy. Today we look at David Goldie's. What? James or Seaman? Seaman. Unlimited. Oh, so like a limit. Sorry, you're saying would it be good if FPL introduced a limitless chip? I think it's fine. I don't think it needs it, but remember when they used to put 5s in Walker's, Chris? Yeah, and also used to get those bags of Chris where you like they. Why did they do this? Right, so there used to be bags of Chris which were unsalted, but they used to put a bag of salt in the crisp, so you would salt it yourself. Why did they do that? Doesn't make any sense. But also, you kind of like doing it yourself. How much am I SHITing myself without SAR? I'm not really. Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera? Gotta be Britney, I'm afraid. They still sell those. Okay. Salt and shake. What's the point, though? But you kind of still like them. But now I'm thinking, like, what was the point? How do I feel about double Bournemouth, e.g. Clivert and Semenya? I think it's great. Off to watch Leatherhead against Rains Park today. Can you wish the Leatherhead some luck today? Please up the greens. Good luck. Good luck. Lincoln Park or Limp Bizkit? Ooh. I really love the Mission Impossible 2 Limp Bizkit song. I've probably listened to Linkin Park more. I also really like the Linkin Park Jay-Z album too. Utara, Chris Wood, Mikalenko, Cunha replacement plus 1.5. Play 3. I'd probably just bench Cunha and save the transfer. I mean, Rolling was great. What's the Mission Impossible 2 song called? Take a look around, right? I think. They still sell Karamax, no idea. Your video suggested you would bring in Strand Larsen next week. Could you bring him in this week for security, bench Utara? You could, yeah, but only if you're definitely going to buy him next week. If there's a chance you don't buy him and your plans change, I would just play Utara. Chris, thank you. I had a Did I have a PlayStation 1? I don't think I did. I bought a PlayStation 2 with my paper round money. Less than an hour till the deadline, and we're talking about PlayStations and non-salted crisps. This stream will give you an idea of the average age of an FPL manager right now. Offspring or Green Day? Green Day probably, but honestly, not really my thing back in the day. Can we talk about FPL? We could do. Anyone interested in FPL these days? Start 1, Mikalenko or Robinson? Mikalenko. I love this moment in the live stream where we take a break and discuss more important things. Exactly. Would you free hit next week if you only had 9 players? No, I'd probably take a couple of hits. I really think if you've not already thought about free hitting, you probably don't need it. Hang on. What Tupac CD was it? I think it was Until the End of Time. No, I'm pretty sure it was Until the End of Time. The point is, if you don't want salt on your Chris, you can. Yeah, fair enough. But then you're just eating plain Chris. Like, what is that? Like, even I'm not that boring. Start Enzo or Utara and Mikalenko or Robinson. Mikalenko and Enzo, I think. Oh, yo-yos. Don't get me started. I always wanted a silver bullet. I just had like I think it was a Saber Wing it was called. We've talked about yo-yos before on this stream. Why is Mikalenko good? I don't know if he is that good, but he might be better than what other people have. Bench one. Maybe I should do a stream on my other channel just talking about 90s nostalgia. Timber, Mikalenko, or Enzo? Oh, bench one, Mikalenko, I think. Why is no one talking about Van Heck? I've not seen him in anyone's benching list. People just don't own him for the most part. Bench Gakpo or Rodgers. I think in that case, I'd probably take the risk with playing Gakpo and just hoping for the best. Have you thought about taking up golf as a form of exercise? No, not really. Well, briefly, but I don't have that much interest in golf. Maybe I would if I played it. Can you do an age poll? Well, I think we should probably leave it to captaincy. Should I triple captain Salah? Only if you've got all your chips left. If not, I'd probably save it till later. Maybe hope for a double. Who knows? If Nottingham Forest beat Brighton in the FA Cup, you might have a Chris Wood triple captaincy opportunity. Top 3 wildcard players. Haaland, Vardiol. I don't know. I don't know after that. Semenyo? Definitely Haaland, right? Definitely Vardiol, because I think they're good for the next 3. Definitely the next 2 after. I guess you want to. I guess you probably want someone like Munoz or Isak on the bench, ready for the double afterwards. I haven't thought a lot about Game Week 28 wildcard. I will say, I feel assistant manager has made a lot of game weeks boring. Why do you think that though? I'll do a poll on ages at the end of the stream, but I think for now I'll keep the captaincy one up there. Although it's pretty much Salah captain, right? Wait until we start talking about Pogs, Tazos. What were the? Oh no, I can't remember what they're called. Oh no, Pogs were the things you flip. Is it Go-Go's? I think Go-Go's as well. Man, kids have got it so boring these days. Just get on your phone and go on Snapchat. You didn't get to play with Go-Go's and Pogs and Keenies. Oh my god, I'm so old. If you know what a Keenie is, then you're at least 35. Probably older. Best defender below 5.8 million with fixtures game week 29 until game week 33. Oh, 5.8, so you can't get Vardiol. That's annoying. I think I would. Oh my god, you've put me on the spot a bit here. I won't lie. I'm thinking Bournemouth. Although Bournemouth won't definitely double. Hang on a sec. I'm tempted to say Bournemouth because the fixtures are pretty good all the way through apart from Spurs away this week. And there is a chance they could double in 33 if they beat Man City. I know that's not necessarily likely, but it's possible. So like a Kirkes or a Howson. I'm sure there's probably someone better though that I'm not thinking of. I just not thought all the way through because I just presume like most people are either using a chip or is there anyone better than Bournemouth? Like Arsenal, I guess, as well. But 5.8 means you're buying like a Timber. Yeah, Arsenal's pretty good, to be honest. I'd be tempted by Timber. Timber or like a Kirkes. Play Semenyo over Marmouche. Hub says bench Marmouche. I probably would, yeah. I think that's a good fixture for Semenyo. Just finished my Couch to 5K run. You're better to listen to than the coaches on the app. Happy to hear it. Although those Couch to 5K apps are great. Cunha to Marmouche or start Rodgers and get Haaland next game week. Start Rodgers, I think. By the way, Pogs are kind of like... You can imagine kids like playing with them these days. Like you can have like a stack like this, and just one flip, they flip over. They're the other person's now. All of a sudden, you've lost yours. They're not yours anymore. Kids don't do that anymore, do they? So for anyone that doesn't know what like pogs were, there was a little disc, cardboard discs, and they'd have like, I don't know, some kind of image on them, right? And you collect them, but you would play with them as well. So you'd put up like a stack, you would throw like a heavier, it was called a keely, like a metal thing, and whichever one's flipped over was yours. So if you flipped the whole stack, they were suddenly yours all of a sudden, and the other person just lost them. I used to collect Premier League stickers. I used to kind of not screw someone over with them, but like I was a little bit devious, I would say. I almost sound like was it Theresa May running through the cornfields? But they used to have a rule. Their parents used to have a rule that would make them only swap 1 for 1. And so I would hide all my good stuff, and I would trade like something rubbish for like a Man United shiny or something like that. Because in school you get like tons of stickers for one really good one, but this kid was only allowed to trade 1 for 1, so I used to hide my good stuff. Oh my god, Eclipse Spliffy jeans. Oh my god. Okay, we need to get back to FPL. Which trio do you prefer for game week 29? I promise this helps with my game week 28 striker predicament. Elanga Wood, Haaland -4, or Savinho the first one, I think. Oh, or Palmer Wood Marmouche. Probably Palmer Wood Marmouche, but you've got to be happy about your captain for 29. That's where my problem comes. If you want a captain Haaland, I think the Elanga Wood one probably. 20 seconds. Why you think free hit is better after 29? Most people just don't have a team where they need free hit in 29. Basically, like at this point, unless you're already stacked with players that are blanking in 29, why would you use it? So yeah, basically that's it. And also, we're going to have a point in 33 where there's doubles, blanks in 34. It might just be a bit better. It might be a bit easier to manage. Plus, you've got the double in 32 to think about as well. But for some people, free hit 29 makes sense. You've lost me. I'm only 22. Honestly, I'm sure there's like, I'm not going to bring them up right now. I'm sure there's like YouTube videos of it. Yeah. You need a 90s live stream on the other channel. I need to get back to FPL. You're distracting me now. You're distracting me with 90s throwbacks. Adidas poppers, yeah, amazing. I was thinking about them the other day for some reason. Don't know why. Okay. Happy COH Day to all that celebrate. Okay. Don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Mikalenko, Howson, or Robinson, play one. Mikalenko, I think. Haven't used a chip yet. When and who? Oh, haven't used the manager chip. Later on, 30, 31 to 33, possibly, maybe 36 to 38. Figure it out later after the FA Cup results. Bench Utara or Kirkes. Could you shout us out as hard-working gents in Norwegian underground band Matahari? I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. It's both anthemic, dark, and hypnotic. Feels both 90s and new. Out on Spotify yesterday. Songs Olifant and Echo Homo. Okay, there you go. Job done. Good luck with it all. Tamagotchis. Oh my god, I had a chicken that would eat burgers but then lift weights to lose the weight. I think it was yellow. Would you free hit next game week if you only had 9 players? I think I'd probably more likely just prefer to take the hits and save my free hit for later. One free transfer, Cunha to Larson to bench Utara, or Hall to Nuri to bench Robinson, or roll. Probably roll is my instinct there. But Hall to Nuri if you're going to do... I don't know, actually. Yeah, Hall to Nuri probably more so, but I'd probably roll. Bench one, Wanieri, Beto, or Rogers. Ooh. Not Beto. I want to say bench Rogers just because of the Champions League, but Rogers has definitely got the slightly better fixture maybe over Wanieri. I think I'd bench Rogers. I think. Push pops, amazing. I had a chicken that would eat burgers and lift weights. Like, you had to be there. You had to be there. It was a good time. Palmer, no rotation or minutes risk. Salah probably won't, but there is a chance. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Very small chance, I think, but... Can you please take a drag already? Getting anxiety watching you with that thing in your hand. It's a USB stick. I don't know why people think it's a vape. I would never vape. Did I have a wallet on a chain? Don't know about that. Don't think so. Bench one of Rogers, João Pedro, Semenyo, or Vissa. Rogers and hope João Pedro starts. Will free hit 29 and wildcard 30. Thoughts on Darwin, Jota punt? I would go Darwin. In that specific scenario. I think he'll start. I've got Kanate and Trent. Do you think we'll get leaks? The problem is the game's at 3 o'clock. So it's quite unlikely, I would say. Best to Salah triple captain this week or hold? I think for most people I would hold, but I really don't hate it this week. I think it's okay to use it. Just hope he doesn't get benched. Would Marmoush for free or hold Gakpo? I'd be tempted to move him on. But look, there is a chance that Gakpo starts, and then you're coming back to me saying, why did you make me transfer Gakpo out when he's got Southampton at home? But I think if I was predicting it, I don't think Gakpo starts. He could just not be in the squad, in which case you get Robinson off the bench, but he could just come on for a 1-point cameo. Never back the early kickoff. Chris Wood and Haaland blanks. I would love it. Shout out to the women, International Women's Day. Shout out to all the ladies watching, yes. Shout out to my wife who's, I was going to say leaving me today. That sounds really bad, but I'm home alone. Oh, Walkman. I had such a good Walkman at one point. Such a good Walkman. It was a Sony one. It was white. It was metal case. And it was like, it was only as big as it needed to be. Beyblades. I don't know what that is. Yeah, mini discs were great too. Love. I had a sharp mini disc player. That'd be worth 250 quid now. Damn. I definitely don't have it anymore. Adexler, thank you. Transferring Njai for Strand Larson. That sounds fine to me. Yeah, Njai's not going to be back for a little while, I don't think. What would be a reason not to free hit 29 if you have 9 playing? Like the thing you have to really consider with free hit is you get the same team back afterwards. So how happy are you with that team in 30? Because if you can just take a couple of hits, those players are also probably quite good for 30, and you've then got the free hit for later on. Am I still drinking tap water? Yes. Didn't your mini disc cut your hands? No. Yeah, Discmans were basically rubbish, weren't they, really? Discman, like, Walkmans and mini discs were much better than... Obviously, CDs were better, but, like, who wants, like, a massive Discman to take around? No way Palmer can blank against Leicester. I'm gambling on him as my captain. There's absolutely no chance he blanks. Ever make your own radio station by recording with tapes off the radio? Yes. Chance, Gakpo, or keep Chris Wood? I'd probably play Chris Wood. Are you ever coming in for breakfast in hard beer? I don't know. The stuff does look good. Maybe one day. Great FPL chat. Absolutely. Talking about breakfast now. Hey, Oscar. Hope you're well. I love it when people are basically watching multiple deadline streams and they forget to change the name. Which 5k race am I targeting? I'm not really. Oh, you said your mini disc was sharp. Okay. Good joke. Any team leaks yet? No. Are Strand Larsen's minutes secure the next 3 game weeks? I think so. Did he play? Let me just double check the last game week. Because obviously he's not that long back from injury, I guess, is the only slight concern. Yeah, he didn't start. He hasn't started for a while now, but you've got to think with Cunha out, he's got to play, right? Bench 1, Cliver, Utara, Rogers, probably Utara. Yeah, but he's not been playing, but surely he comes in now. Why am I not selling Cunha? I just want the extra transfer next week. I probably should sell Cunha, but I can't get Wood or Marmoush. It would have to be Vissa, which I think is fine. It would just be to bench Utara. So I'm hoping Utara starts. I'm just making a play that he's gonna be in that 11. If he's not, it obviously hurts, but it is what it is. I was thinking about Palmer captain. I might switch it back. I think it does look quite nice, but I don't know if I can go with the pain. The pain of Mo Salah. It looks pretty good, right? Palmer and Semenyo or Haaland and Wanieri for this week only. Palmer and Semenyo, like 100%. Feels like I should be doing something with all the minutes risk and 3 free transfers, but rolling. You'll probably feel pretty good about it next week. I think Strand Nelson will start, yeah. Am I tempted by Cunha to João Pedro? Not really, no. Start Collins or Timber. Collins, Brentford Collins. Probably Timber. I think Semenyo's minutes are the most secure out of all Bournemouth attacker. Calm down on the Coke Zero? Nope. I'm more confident that Utara will start than he won't. But I don't know if I can be that confident about it. If I don't use transfers now and use my free hit in 30, will my transfers roll? Yes. I love that, by the way. I think that's such a good change. I was thinking about that, right? Let's say I get to next week, and I think, do you know what, actually, I could do with a free hit. Then it doesn't matter that I've saved 2 transfers because they just roll through. I think that's such a good change by FPL. I love that. Don't like the system manager all that much, but the rolling transfers and the up to 5, I think is a really good move for the most part. Like, it's a little bit like there are just situations where if you get super lucky, you get to roll, and if you get super unlucky, you have to make lots of transfers, and that's annoying when someone gets so ahead of you on moves. But also, some people can just be more patient, and it's just another way of playing. So I really like that. 2 free transfers in Nkunku for 3 game weeks before wildcard, replacing Rodgers. Will Nkunku definitely start in 30 and 31? Oh, 29 as well. I guess he will probably start in 30, but it's not a guarantee, right? I don't mind the Nkunku punt, but I'd much rather go Bournemouth, personally. What year did you move to Ireland? About 12, 13 years ago. Do you think you'll ever pick up an accent? No, don't think so. I was gonna say I don't think so again, but in an Irish accent. But I didn't want to insult the people of the country that I live in with my accents. Cunha to Wood or Vissa. Cunha to Wood or Vissa. Like you benching Mateta for Utara to keep all options. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think I would buy Wood if I could afford it. The reason that I would be looking at Cunha to Vissa is I can't actually afford Chris Wood for Cunha. I'd have to sell Isak. Oh yeah, sorry, I probably will just captain Salah. Old enough to remember the 2p machines on Western Imperial. They're not still there, by the way. I think they probably are. Have they upgraded to 10p now? Do you think you'll ever do Strictly? I suspect that you've got to be famous to do Strictly. Is Haaland essential for Game Week 29? No. I can't do it without selling Salah and a -8, or just bring in Marmoush and bring. He's not essential, right? The only thing I would say is if you don't have Haaland for captain, are you happy captaining someone else? That really is the big thing to consider. Because for my team, if I don't buy Haaland, I'm not sure who I'm captaining next week. Like in Burmo, maybe away to Bournemouth. Like Palmer away to it's pretty horrible. Like, I could bring in like a Chris Wood, obviously. Maybe that'd be fine. Are you on off the bench this week? What's off the bench? Off the bench? Or are you saying, am I coming off the bench? Or is someone coming off my bench? Bench Mitoma or Chris Wood? Mitoma. He probably will start, but I think I would just play Chris Wood for the penalties. Start Wanyeri or Utara. I'd probably start Wanyeri because I think he's pretty likely to start. Bench 1, Utara, Kirkes, Mikalenko. Kirkes, I think. Off the bench. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they've got like a second podcast, right? No, I'm not on it this week. I've never been on it. Do you get recognised much in public? Every now and again. Not a lot, I would say. Any weird encounters? Not really. Got recognised the other day when I was in town. Someone not only had watched the FPL stuff, they'd also watched my Am I a Runner Now video. Legend. Am I selling Salah to fund Haaland in 29? Possibly. The thing is, I really don't need to make that decision until next week, so I'm not going to commit right now. I just don't know. Ideally, no, but to not sell Salah means a -4 or a -8. Got excited when she mentioned that Andy was going to be on. No, not me. Must be a different Andy. Who to buy to replace Gakpo and Lewis Hall? Again, depends on your chip strategy, but probably like a Chris Wood and a Vardy or something like that. Who's third best captain? Genuinely not even thought about it. I'm bringing up the fixtures. Haaland, I guess, against Forest. Maybe Munoz or Trent, possibly. I mean, Mbeumo's probably quite good against Villa. I don't know. Like a Semenyo. I'm looking at the fixtures. Haaland, Semenyo, Mbeumo, someone like that, maybe. Possibly an Nkunku if you really want to take a punt. Darwin Nunez. Yeah, Eze not bad. Can you do walk the dog with the yo-yo? I could, yeah, if I had the right yo-yo. I have... Oh, no, actually, that's too niche. I have Mateta and Cunha. Larson and for Cunha now to fund Haaland -8 next week, or roll and play 4-5-1 and just pray everyone plays. It depends who the bench is, right? If the bench is good enough, I would just pray. I think Larson for Cunha is okay, though. Nothing is too... No, this is particularly niche, yeah. And it was about yo-yos. We don't need to get into that more than we already have. Who do you think has the better chance to start in Utara or João Pedro? I think João Pedro, but honestly, I think it would split opinion if you polled more people. It's really difficult to know, like, for sure. Like, Utara has continued to start, right? Like, he got benched in the FA Cup, but so did Kluivert. No one sat here worried about Kluivert starting. I know Evan Nilsson's back. I get it, right? There's new information there, but then João Pedro's done well recently, but does that really matter? Like, he'd started a lot of games in a row, then got hooked at halftime, then benched for 2 games. Like, I'm going to say João Pedro to start more so than Utara, but I really don't know, is the honest answer. Bench, Mateta, Cunha, Taylor. It's basically no bench. Okay, sorry, again, this is why it's sometimes difficult without knowing. Like, if you do Cunha to Strand Larsen, who are you benching? If it's an Utara, I'd be tempted to make the move, but only if you're going to buy Strand Larsen next week anyway. Hall to Vardio or roll and have 2 free transfers better. Vardio's pretty good for the next few weeks, so buy Vardio if it doesn't stop you doing what you want to do next week. If it might do, then don't buy him. I think Brooks will get benched to incorporate Evan Nielsen rather than Utara. That's what I also think could happen, right? Evan Nielsen 9, Semenyo and Utara, the wide players, and then Clive at number 10. But also, Tavernier gets played quite a lot, or has done in the past. The minutes are definitely going to be down either way, but I'm still hopeful that Utara will start. And I'll take that at this point. Start Jimenez or Gabriel. Gabriel, I think. I don't know if Jimenez will start. I know Gabriel definitely will. Oh, damn, look at Praz's team. He's rolling to 3 free transfers. He's got Munoz. He's got Clive instead of Utara. What a great position to be in. By the way, Praz is playing João Pedro ahead of Utara, so that tells you he thinks João Pedro is more likely to start, I would say. Or he doesn't know and he's taking the penalty taker. Either way, I kind of agree with that, I think. Not that Praz needs me to agree. He's like 5k. Absolutely smashing it. We want to see you yo-yo. I don't have a yo-yo anymore, unfortunately. Maybe I should buy one. Can you still buy silver bullets? What do you get in your chicken fillet roll? Mayo. Usually mayo, cheese, and lettuce, but sometimes stuffing and lettuce. Isak or Rogers? Isak, like 100%. I think he will start. He might not, but I think he will. When you realise Salah has only blanked 4 times this season, maybe it'll be 5 after this week. Will I be watching the Sidemen charity match? I'll probably watch the Liverpool game, in all honesty, but I'm sure there'll be a ton of clips out. Bench 1, Utara, Bruno, João Pedro have Raya in goal. I think I'd play... Yeah, I'd bench Utara. I would bench Kanate, Clivert, Rogers, Gabriel. Oh, okay. Sorry. What a username, by the way. I think I would risk it and just hope for the best and not make that transfer. Enjoying watching the running content. The problem is there's not that much content of me actually running, but yeah, I'm determined to keep putting videos out on that channel, even if they're rubbish, just to get into the habit of doing it. So we'll see. I suspect Prize is probably just captain in Salah, right? Yeah. Best Hall replacements under 5.5. 8 Nuri, probably. I like 8 Nuri for cheap, if you need him for the next kind of 3 weeks or so. I think Simicast will definitely start. Kwanzaa, I'm a little bit less sure about, because it means one of Trent or Kanate has to step out. I don't know about that. I'm hoping it's not Trent. I personally think it's more likely to be Kanate, but I might just be saying that because I'm a Trent owner. Joshua, 51 months, thank you very much. How's it going? Start Wan-Bissaka or Mikalenko? It's going well. Hope it is for you too. Newcastle at home, Wolves at work. Honestly, I feel like it's Mikalenko, but Wan-Bissaka maybe slightly more attacking. Play Semenyo or transfer in Wood? I just play Semenyo. He's pretty great, right? I wish I had Semenyo this week. Eze or Sarr? I guess I would still side with Eze because that's what I did before, but I do like Sarr's value, to be honest. I think they're both pretty decent options, so maybe you just go for the cheaper one. Although, Mateta out, Eze on penalties. So maybe I would go for Eze, even if it's short-term penalties. Like, very short-term. Can Postecoglou get 2 bonus in these next 2 game weeks versus Bournemouth and Fulham? Bournemouth, definitely. For the second game, where are Spurs? 13, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not against Fulham as it stands. I mean, if Fulham won and other results went your way, maybe then it would be table bonus, but that also probably means Spurs need to lose, which isn't good. So as it stands, Spurs don't get table bonus against Fulham. That could change. But he does get it against Bournemouth. Bench 1 of Wood, Kudus, 8 Noria Robinson. Frustrated, I have 1 chip, bench boost, and 1 transfer to make. Raya, Gabriel, Milenkovic, Salah and Burmo, Clivert, Murphy, Wood, Izak, bench, Sells, Castagna, Gakpo. Ooh. You can probably just roll this week, right? Milenkovic is not great. You've only got bench boost, Christ. Sales Castagna. Well, you ain't bench boosting this week. I'm not quite sure when you're going to bench boost. You'll have to just wait until you got a good bench later on. I would be tempted to roll that, I think. Just have an extra transfer next week to manage 29. Because you've got 1, 2, at least only 2 players blanking from what I can see. Maybe 3, 4, actually. Yeah, so I'd probably save. Gakpo or Watkins out. Not Watkins. To get Visser. I'd be tempted just to risk Gakpo, but yeah, Gakpo to Visser if you're going to do one. Because Watkins will almost certainly start this week. Best 1 week forward punt have Woody's at probably Nketiah or Darwin. I'd be tempted to go Darwin, but yeah, one of those two. Should I do Gakpo to Evan Nielsen for a -4 or risk you? I wouldn't take a -4 for that. No way. Should I start a 4-man defense? Munoz, 8 Nuri, Trent, Gabriel, and bench Wanyeri. I'd probably play Wanyeri over 8 Nuri. But if you want to go 4-man defense, it's not that bad. I was originally a Salah all or nothing guy this game, but you've convinced me on Palmer. How have I convinced you on Palmer? I haven't really said much today about him. Should I triple captain this week or wait for a double? I'd probably wait for a double. Depends how many other chips you got to play. You read my message wrong. Gakpo or Watkins out. 4. Got 4. Okay, who you? Okay. I'd probably just play them both. Just hope for the best, especially if you've got a good bench for Gakpo. If you have to sell, then Wood probably. Cunha to Wood or Marmoush. Wood's probably the safer pick out of the two. One thing I would like. It's difficult because Marmoush has started all 5 so far, so presumably he's just going to keep starting. But what if he doesn't? And I like Marmoush as a punt, and I suspect he will continue starting. But also, there's part of me that thinks we're coming into a blank game week. People are not going to have benches unless they're free hitting. So why do you not just take Chris Wood? What do you think of Anthony now? I think he's just never, ever really played that well for Man United. And I can see why we loaned him out. Despite him smashing it since. Sell Cunha to Wood. Or just play Enzo, Palmer, Salah, Semenyo, Marmoush, and Burma. I would just keep Cunha probably and save the transfer. Bring in Vardio or 8 Nori if you can afford it, Vardio. Any team news for City and Forest? Not so far that I've seen. Why do you think there are less leaks this season? Not sure. Maybe just clubs have rooted out the leakers, possibly. I think it's a good thing overall. Would you start Gakpo with Utara on the bench? I think I would probably risk it. I really don't think Gakpo's starting, though, honestly. I guess there is a chance he's not even in the squad. But in that case, you've got Utara, so I guess you risk it. Darwin captain to make up ground and Selly's... No, I don't like the sound of that. It sounds a bit... I get it, but I think Palmer and Salah are just so strong this week. It's International Women's Day and you've missed all my messages but read my husband's and my son's. Ouch. Apologies for that. I've read yours now. I don't like... I'm not looking at people's names and thinking, oh, I'm not going to answer that one. Is Salah a starting 11 risk for a slight risk? I don't think it's that big. What's your thoughts on Man United? I think probably need to be a bit more specific, and it's probably not a great time to get into it. I'd rather talk about yo-yos and pogs, to be honest. That does seem quite unlikely that I would randomly read out messages from 3 people in the same family. What are the chances of that with so many people watching? Thoughts on Nkunku? Hub telling me to buy. I like him for this week. I just worry about him a bit more afterwards. Like Arsenal away next week is not ideal. Would you transfer out Rodgers for Nkunku? Probably not. It's a tough one because Nkunku could do really well this week, which kind of makes the Arsenal away game not so bad. But if he doesnn't do that well, then you've got Arsenal away. It doesn't look so good. Like he's probably fine this week. I'm not convinced I'm really that worried about him afterwards. Transfer plans for next week are figure out how best to get Haaland. Bench one. Oh, between Chris Wood, Watkins, or Visser. Oof, Chris Wood probably. Bench one between Nuri, Kirkez, or Reina. Kirkez, I think. Visser or Wanyeri, which one would you start? Definitely Visser. I hope Wanyeri outscores him because I own him, but if I was picking one for my team, it would be Visser. Why do you want Haaland so bad? I just kind of want to captain him next week and probably against Leicester as well. I'm pretty sure I will end up getting Haaland next week. I just don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. What's really going to hurt me is if Utara also gets benched this week. West Ham manager or Spurs? I'm going to say go for Ange. Give him a chance. Is Saka available for the Man United game? Nope. What chip am I playing today? None. Would you play Utara over João Pedro? I'd probably play João Pedro or Utara over Son. I'd definitely play Son over Utara. As a Palmer non-captain, I'm hoping for less than 100% EO. I suspect he'll be over. Sheriff 41 months. Thank you. Start Bruno against my double Arsenal defence, or get Beto Marmoush for Cunha and bench him, or bench him and play Mikalenko and roll, or bench Timber for Mikalenko. I'd probably play Bruno and Timber. Honestly. Like, if buying Marmoush or Beto does not change your plans for 29, it doesn't stop you doing the transfers you want to make in 29, then yes, maybe I'd buy one and bench Bruno. But if you don't know what you're going to do next week, I would just play him. Palmer shouldn't even be a captain option. Come on, that's nonsense. He's playing Leicester at home. All it takes is for Palmer to have 2 good scores in a row, and everyone will be talking about his form again. Like it doesn't. People are just so fickle. It doesn't take much to change people's opinions. Like he's playing Leicester at home. He can easily walk away with a big score. Therefore, he's definitely should be considered as captain. Doesn't mean you have to go for him. I'll probably just go Salah like everyone else. But if you're down by 85 points in your mini league, does it make sense to wildcard this week if your team isn't great? The mini league thing wouldn't really be a massive factor. Does your team really need a wild card? Like there's 17 minutes until the deadline. So if you don't already know what you're wild carding to, and the problem with wild carding this week or next week is you're having to make a lot of decisions without the FA Cup quarterfinal info. You ain't going to figure all that out in 17 minutes. So I would suggest it's probably not a good time to wild card. I'm never going against Salah again. The stress was too much. It was pretty bad. But honestly, 29, definitely not captain in Salah, but there's no stress because he's not playing. 30, maybe Haaland captain against Leicester. 31, probably Salah. 32, double game week Isak. 33, another double game week player, probably Haaland. So you're not going to be actually captaining Salah that much. Most people aren't going to be captaining Salah that much over the next few weeks. But 29's easy because he's not playing, so he probably will still outscore whoever I captain, but there's probably less stress. Bench one, Clive Bowen, in Burma or Wood. Probably Christopher Wood. Captaining Palmer, either go big or go home. Good luck. I kind of hope it works out for you, to be honest. It's a bit boring when Salah does well every week. And no, I don't think they should change the captaincy rules. Trust me, bro. Captain Palmer. I don't want to trust you, though. You don't seem like a trustworthy person. I'd play Mikalenko over Kirkers, I think. Plus, it's time for those needing to make up ground to start doing something different. Yes. Backing against the best player in the league with the worst team in the league, though, is a little bit tricky. Which is the better option? Bowen and Semenyo. Semenyo and Wood. Wood and Bowen. I'm sliding more towards Bowen and Semenyo and bench and Wood. Oh, if that's a bench question, I bench Chris Wood out of all those. Yeah. Newborn baby girl this week. Congratulations. Red Arrow, but she's probably worth it. I don't know. Red Arrow. Yeah, no, I'm only messing. Would you consider Palmer captain for the double? Not over Isak if they're both fit and available. Like, Crystal Palace, I probably will have 2 or 3 players for because like Munoz and Mateta look good, Eze, Sarr, etc. Henderson even, but it's 2 away games against Newcastle and Man City. Confirmation bias complete. It's been my favourite deadline stream ever. You must really like 90s nostalgia. If you're under 30, 35, this stream's probably been a bit rubbish. Never trust anyone who says, trust me, bro. You've just said it as part of your sentence, though. So should I trust you? Should people move early on Game Week 29 transfers? Probably not. Like, it's going to be the same answer as like a lot of the times people ask about moving early. If you know exactly what you're going to do, and you're going to be priced out if you don't do it, maybe you do it. But I think in a week where if you're not free hitting, you probably don't have a bench, or you probably don't have a very good bench, I'd be very careful about making early transfers. There's also Champions League and European matches next week as well. So keep that in mind. Hey Ross, come on! If you're putting in super chats, you've got to get the name right. Right, let's put it to a vote. Should I refuse to answer this question because they got the name wrong? Because they meant to put it in Ross's stream. Should I refuse to answer this? But they have paid for a super chat, so it feels a bit harsh to completely ignore it. Or should I go into Ross's stream and just ask the question for them? Oh, there's lots of yeses so far. 1 week ban. Oh, thanks for reading our messages earlier. Happy family. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Genuinely. Wow, lots of people saying you should refuse to answer. Answer it, you got the money. Ban them. Do it, make Ross earn your money. I'll answer. Right, come on, I'm not. I'll answer, but I won't be able to give as good an answer as Ross. I won't be able to do it. I can get to maximum 9 players next week with free transfers. Should I free hit or start 10 for -4? I would take hits basically. I don't know what Ross would do though. Play 2 out of 5. Gabriel, Utara, Vissa, Mikalenko, Nuri. Vissa and probably Utara. You've got to play at least one defender, right? So I'd probably say Visser is your attacker and Gabriel is your defender. Utara, Wood, Mikalenko, bench 1, Mikalenko. Did Cunha to Wood, bench Wood or Semenyo? Probably Wood. Yeah. They might be trolling, yeah. That is true. Have some dignity. Oh, come on. That's just a joke. Would you relax? Come on, lighten up a little bit. 90s kid. Yeah, I was definitely a 90s kid. I wasn't born in the 90s though. I'm even older. Can you show us how to view player values in our squad, sell on value, etc.? Yeah, when you just go to the transfers page, you just click on list, and then you've got how much you paid, how much you can sell the player for, and what their current price is. So for Salah, for example, I bought him at 12.7. He's currently 13.8. If I sell him, I only get 13.2. Therefore, if Salah stays the same price, it'll cost me 0.6 million to buy him back. Did you used to have a Game Boy? Yes. And I used to sell... I've definitely told this story before. I used to sell Pokemon, basically, for £2. There was like, you know, like Mew and Mewtwo. One of those you could only get through an N64 Pokemon game. And so I got it off someone that had it. And then I would sell if you traded it, you would lose it. But if you pulled the cable out, they would get it, and so would you. And so I used to sell them for £2, £2 a pop for Mew or Mewtwo. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Mew. Those were the days. Anyway, I really shouldn't be talking about this with 10 minutes to go. We can talk about it afterwards. I'll do the sleeper draw and then we can talk about whatever. Is bringing in Szoboszlai a big risk? I think so, yes. I think Harvey Elliott could start instead of him, to be honest. So I just wouldn't bother with it. Lots of people have brought him in, though. And if he plays, he could do really well. Yeah, I think it was Mew. Transfers in. Oh, 226,000 transfers. Oof. Nah, you got it. It was from an N64 game. It was an N64. You could collect him in that, and then you could trade him somehow to the Game Boy game. You've been a proper entrepreneur in your youth days, I have to admit, and a bit of a jerk. Why was I a jerk? What did I do? Oh, the stickers thing, yeah. I used to sell CDs as well. Because back in the day, like, not many people could burn CDs. Good old LimeWire. Dread to think the amount of viruses and stuff I downloaded to our family computer, but still. Bench order, Utara, Ain't Nuri, Mikalenko. I would say that order. Wow, you didn't answer my super chat. Ghost Hunter, is that true? Oh, triple captain Salah or captain Palmer? I would go for Salah triple captain over Palmer triple captain for sure. What would Ross do though? I don't know. If it was 6 to 7 game weeks earlier, would you have been braver with Palmer captain? Does having fewer game weeks left make you more cautious? I don't think it makes me more cautious. No, I think no, not really. If anything, I'd rather take more risks while my rank is what it is with less weeks to go. But it's just Salah versus Southampton. It's very hard to go against it. Gakpo to Beto or Strand Larsen. I'd take a punt on Strand Larsen, I think. Just for the Southampton game. Pokemon Stadium with the transfer pack you connected to the controller. There we go. Hi, Az. Okay, now I know you're taking the mic. Because nobody watches Black Box. Start João Pedro or Rogers? João Pedro, I think. Remember the microwaving of crisp bags that were made into keyrings? No. Bench Chris Wood or Bowen? Chris Wood, I think. MSN Messenger, wow. Did I ever use LimeWire? Yeah, of course I did. Used to get some good songs on that. I used to like, if there was a song I liked, I always used to just search for that song plus remix. And there's always been these remixes that you just never heard elsewhere. Would you watch the Sidemen charity match? I'll probably like see what's going on and watch the clips and stuff, but I won't. Like Liverpool and Southampton's on. I was surprised it was this week and not during the international break, to be honest. I guess they probably couldn't get Wembley during the international break. Alisson start or sell? I think start. I think he'll play. I know I kind of, on final thoughts, I kind of like had a bit of a thought process that maybe Kelleher could start, but actually I went and checked later on. Alisson hasn't missed a Premier League or Champions League game all season when he's been fit, and I get it, right? There's not necessarily been a massive amount of games where you'd want to rotate. I think Alisson just starts, so I wouldn't sell him this week. Oh, Kazar, yeah, I definitely use that as well. Yeah, LimeWire, that's what I'm saying. LimeWire. Did you use ICQ back in the day, and was MIRC popular in the UK? One of them? I used to use some kind of chat thing when I used to play WoW. I think that might have been MIRC. I think like a voice chat thing. It might be something else. I can't remember. Yeah, I don't think Allison. I think Allison will start. I think I got that wrong even considering it yesterday. Okay, we've only got 5 minutes left. Let's do FPL stuff. I think. Start Verbruggen or sells Verbruggen. Bruno or Wanieri to bench. Probably Wanieri, just about. Oh, Ventrillo. Yeah, Ventrillo sounds right. Start Semenyo or Wood. Semenyo. Bench Wood or Watkins. Wood. Is a Hall must sell this week. Depends if you need a new defender. If you can bench him, then just bench him for now. Does Palmer have good XG? Yes, not as good as Salah, but pretty decent to be honest. I think Palmer's being underrated at this point. Just in general, I'm not saying being underrated as a captain versus Salah, but who should I bench? Rodgers, Wood, or Gakpo? Oh, that's so difficult because I just don't think Gakpo starts. So I'm going to say play Wood and Gakpo. You've been dodging my questions. I'm going to keep dodging them then, I think, for the rest of the stream. Watkins to Haaland means I have to change Trent. No, I wouldn't do that this week. You can just do it next week instead. I really like Haaland from next week. I don't think you need him this week, though. Marmoush doesn't start, according to who? Oh, that's... Please tell me that's true. Please tell me that's true. Oh, my God. Oh, Marmoush doesn't... Okay, this is lazy FPL. Marmoush does not start... They've spelled it wrong, by the way. Momoush. Does not start for Man City. Fresh sauce. I don't know how much to believe that. I think that's amazing, though, honestly, because I find with players like that, when they start 5 games in a row, when you question that they could be benched, like you always get like a little bit of, they look nailed, but it's a Man City player. Amazing if he's benched. Amazing. This is what I was saying earlier. I like, if that's true, then obviously don't buy him. I liked him. He might start, right? That source could be wrong. I like him as a punt. I do think with no bench next week, you should probably go a little bit. Oh, FPL Main Road. I mean, Oh, Marmoush's bench. That's so funny. How much has he been brought in by? Man City attackers. Just don't bother. Just don't bother with them. I actually had Marmoush ahead on benching headaches for Wood. I got that completely wrong. 300,000 transfers in. Damn, I'm going to tweet about that right now. 313. I thought he would start again. I did say there'd be some risk. Oh, that's harsh. You just bought him in. That is harsh. I won't celebrate too much. If you want a Man City attack, get Vardy. Haaland's the only one, isn't he? Maybe Haaland gets benched too. That'd be funny. That would actually be funny. Okay, so anyone that's asked me a question with Marmoush, I would just bench him now. Good day from Oz, from Sporch the Horse and Mr. Sprub. I don't know what any of that means. But good day. Bench one of Wood, Visser, Isak, and Burmo Bowen. Probably Wood out of those. What? So Marmoush is not starting. Okay, my team. I think I'm just going to captain Salah. I was hoping for like a bit of news that he wasn't starting or something, but well, at least we can rule Marmoush out as an option next week. Live Sport have Marmoush in the starting level. FPL Main Row is pretty good for stuff like that. Interesting they've got leaks this week, though. I don't think they've had leaks for a while, right? Is Savio... If honestly, If you're okay, we've only got 30 seconds of the deadline, by the way. So get your team locked in. I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to captain Salah. I think I've got to. I'm going to roll and hope for the best. Like Utara might not start. Like Marmoush, Isak might not start. I'm just going to take the pain. What was I going to say? Yeah, if your first question after Marmoush being benched is, should I buy this other Man City attacker then, or is this Man City attacker better? They're all dodgy, apart from Haaland. We're locked in. Make sure to give the stream a like, hit that subscribe button. Before you run off, just do it. It takes 2 seconds. Just hit subscribe right now. Go on. Go on. Let me see what we're on. We're on... We're on 400 and we're only 193 off of 444k. So go and hit that subscribe button. Matthew H, 30 months. Thank you very much. Captain Palmer with seconds left. Good luck. I can do an age poll. Yeah. Hang on. I can only put 4. What is your age? I guess. Let's just do what do I put in as the options though? Like 13 to 20. It does sound a bit weird, doesn't it? It does sound a bit weird. What is your age? Yeah, age range. Obviously, I'm not going to put 4. It does sound. It does sound a bit weird. Anyway, hang on a second. By the way, I can just go back and look at previous streams and tell you the age ranges. I just need to do the sleeper draw first. Loads of people got 9 correct last week. Let me just check this is working properly. Let me just do the sleeper draw first. How old am I? I'm very old. Very old. Okay, this is for the sleeper draw for the £50 Amazon voucher. If you haven't already got your sleeper picks submitted and joined the Let's Talk FPL League, there is a link in the description below. Hertz League is the winner. I'm going to message you on the sleeper app after this stream asking for your email address, and I will send you that £50 Amazon voucher within the next week or so, because sometimes I'm quite slow. Imagine getting all 9 right and then winning nothing. There was loads of people with 9 right this week as well. Sometimes there's only like 2. There's not been many weeks where only one person has got it correct ahead of everyone else. There we go. Link in the description below. Yeah, I can just look up, right? Let me look up the last deadline stream. I'll just tell you right now. This will just be like percentages, basically. Oh, no, that's the wrong... This is this stream. Am I born in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or newer? Newer? Me? Oh, you mean the poll? I was going to say. Let me see right here. Audience. Okay, so 13 to 17 is 0.8%. 18 to 24 is 18.9%. 25 to 34 is the biggest one, 47.4%. So there's more people that are 35 to 44 that watched the last stream than there are 18 to 24. It's not a young person's game, apparently. 45 to 54, 7%. 55 to 64, 2.7%. 65 plus, 0.7%. Shout out. Those legends playing FPL. Love it. Who was number 1 in the charts when you were born? Not sure. But that would just give away exactly when I was born. 66, you're in there. 0.9%. 0.9%. Love it. 2.7%, 55 to 64. Doon, 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 doon. Tom's in the minority. 117. People put fake ages. Yeah, of course. But not everyone does. Not everyone. Like, bear in mind that... hang on, let me just see. Let me see. Yeah, 109,000 people watched that stream, so I don't know, some of them would be fake names, but not necessarily all of them. Please laugh at Connor for transferring in Marmouche. Unlucky Connor. I don't want to laugh too much because it's not nice, but Man City attackers, it is what it is, you know. You're officially middle-aged when you start making ooh noise when you get up from a chair. Absolutely. Right. I think I'm going to start shooting off. If anything, if we're trying to be a bit harsh here, it's a shame the Marmouche benching wasn't next week, because at least people have got benches this week in the most part. Would have been better next week. So I don't think I would have bought him. I think I would have gone Chris Wood. I did have him though. I did have him high up on my benching headaches list, so I got that wrong. Well, I know what the questions are going to be next week. Should we keep Marmouche or should we sell him? And I think the answer is probably going to be just keep him. But I guess it depends on minutes. There could be injuries and stuff. You missed the sleeper spin. Yeah, I've already done that. Hertz League 1. In fact, I'm just going to mention him. I'm just going to message him right now, because otherwise I'll forget to do it. Let me just go on DMs. Oh, hang on, it's not working properly. Planning on getting Marmouche next game. Yeah, but like, is this not a good thing then? It's super easy not to buy him now, right? You can just concentrate elsewhere. Just get Chris Wood. Hertz League. Hey, you won the Game Week 27 competition. Just need your email address to send the voucher. Boom. There we go. The thing is, I usually do the benching headaches based on what people send to me. So if no one mentions Marmouche, like Visser, I'll probably just forget to put him in. Like, I don't want to like just put everyone, like every potential FPL player. No plans today. I'm planning to watch some football. Definitely going to watch the Liverpool game at 3. What are the matches later on? 8 o'clock, Wolves versus Everton. I'm not convinced I'll be watching that. Brentford Villa probably will. No plans that I have to rush off for, but I haven't eaten anything today. I'm pretty hungry. No, I didn't miss... Did you not hear what I said about Munoz? Are you winding me up, Business Cat? Marmouche is just benched. Nothing... Yeah, exactly. Someone did mention Munoz for benching headaches, and I just didn't entertain putting him in the list, because no one should be considering benching him this week. I actually need to take a screenshot of this as well. Post me team. Greg Sausage Rolls. Used to love them back in the day. Probably ate way too many, which explains problems now. Game week 28. Locked. give up. Salah's fasting and apparently benched. He's going to get benched for every Liverpool game, is he? How am I watching the Liverpool game at 3? Because it's on TV. Got to turn around. Right, I think I'm gonna shoot off. Thanks very much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And I will catch you again soon. By the way, for anyone that's like mega bored today, I have been putting some videos out on my other channel, which I'll put in the chat now. If you want to check that out. Not all that interesting, but, you know, some of you might be super bored before the football. Yeah, I'm off. Gonna go and get some breakfast, drink me Coke Zero, and I will catch you on Sunday. And also, I've lost the stream, so I can't turn it off. I've got to go back and find it. No run today, no, definitely not. Why'd you always call it the other channel? I don't know, because it's the other channel. Breakfast porridge. Right, I'm off. Thank you very much for joining me. Catch you later. And good luck this weekend and enjoy it.